pressure.
He needs to be landing in combination.
Professional boxing is one of the most exciting sports in the world. We watch it for the thrill, the punches, the knockouts, and the drama. It's entertainment at its finest. But we often forget how dangerous it really is. Behind every fight is a fighter putting their life on the line for their craft. We're stepping away from the glitz and glory to talk about the darker side of boxing. Stories of fighters whose careers and even lives ended inside the ring. In 1962, Benny Paret faced Emil Griffith for the welterweight title, and it was personal. Paret had taunted Griffith in the lead-up to the match, even using slurs that stoked tensions. When they stepped into the ring, the atmosphere was electric, but no one could have predicted how it would end. But in the 12th round, Griffith unleashed a brutal series of punches, landing over 20 unanswered blows. Paret was trapped in the corner, defenseless. The referee stepped in too late, and Paret collapsed in the ring. He fell into a coma and tragically passed away 10 days later from brain injury. The fight led to debates about the responsibilities of referees and the dangers of boxing. Even decades later, this serves as a grim reminder of how quickly things can go wrong in the ring. In 1982, we have the heartbreaking story of Kim Duk Koo. Kim was a determined underdog from South Korea, taking on Ray Mancini in what was supposed to be his breakthrough fight. Kim struggled to lose weight in the days prior to the bout. The fight went an exhausting 14 rounds, with both fighters giving it everything they had. But in the 14th round, Kim took a series of heavy punches that caused Kim to fly into the ropes, hitting his head on the canvas. Kim managed to rise unsteadily to his feet, but the referee stopped the fight, and Mancini was declared the winner by TKO 19 seconds into the 14th round. Minutes after the fight was over, Kim collapsed into a coma. He was rushed to the hospital, but the damage was too severe. Kim kicked the bucket 5 days later due to a brain injury. This tragedy led to major changes in the sport. The number of rounds were reduced from 15 to 12, and new safety measures were introduced. James Emerson Delaney, known professionally as Jimmy Doyle, was a young fighter with big dreams. In 1947, he squared off against the legendary Sugar Ray Robinson in what was supposed to be his big break. Doyle wasn't just fighting for glory. He hoped to use his winnings to buy a house for his mother. In the 8th round, a single left hook from Robinson, thrown as Doyle was attempting a right hook, ended the fight. The punch knocked Doyle hard onto his back. As the referee started counting, Doyle tried to raise himself, but he couldn't. His handlers asked the referee to end the match, as Doyle was in no condition to go on. He was rushed to the hospital, where he failed to regain consciousness and died a few hours later, leaving behind a heartbroken family and a devastated opponent. In a touching gesture, Robinson gave the earnings of his next 4 fights to Doyle's mother, so she could still buy that house. It's a bittersweet story that shows the human side of boxing, even in its darkest moments. Maxim Dadashev was a rising star in boxing, known for his speed and skill. In 2019, he faced Subriel Matias in what should have been another step toward a title shot. But the fight turned into a brutal war of attrition.
Stop it, Max. Okay? I'm going to stop the fight. Max, I'm going to stop it. Max, you're getting hit too much.
After 11 grueling rounds, Dadashev's corner made the difficult decision to stop the fight. Dadashev needed help to get out of the ring. and was unable to make it to his dressing room. He collapsed and vomited in the corridor. He was rushed to the hospital, where he was diagnosed with a severe brain injury and underwent emergency surgery to stop the bleeding. He was then placed in an induced coma to try to allow the swelling in his brain to subside. But Dadashev's condition worsened, and on the 23rd of July, he died in the hospital. Patrick Day was more than just a fighter. He was a beloved figure in the boxing world, known for his kindness and sportsmanship. In 2019, he stepped into the ring against Charles Conwell in a competitive fight that went the distance. Although Conwell was clearly winning the fight, Day remained competitive in many of the rounds. But in the 10th round, Conwell landed 2 rights and a left hook that completely knocked out Day. He went down hard, with the back of his head slamming onto the canvas. The referee immediately stopped the bout without a count. Day was immediately surrounded by medical personnel, and within minutes, he was taken out of the ring on a stretcher and to an ambulance. He never regained consciousness. At one point, he had a seizure and then lapsed into a coma before undergoing emergency brain surgery, but sadly, he passed away days later.